Hell yeah, dude. I cannot wait for Season 3. As somebody who just has fun playing the game anyway, having news like this or just having a trailer for the next season is just beautiful. I am so hyped for it. And it doesn't look bad. And I don't mean that from like a hopium standpoint. Like, it looks pretty good. And we're entering some silly. Like, okay, so like the cinematic trailer, like it gives us some story cinematics which look a lot more like in line with quality with the campaign than the in-game engine cutscenes that we were getting from the past two seasons. They're actually going harder with the story, which is interesting with this new character. I forget his name, the Spartan from introduced in season 2. But cool, we get to have more story around that. I hope that it's a lot more important and has a, longer lasting significance than that. I mean, nobody remembers what happened in the cutscenes in the previous season, so they don't matter. Hopefully this one actually has something to do with Halo Infinite. The campaign, I mean. We're getting more colorful suits. They look a little bit more wacky. We get a new big team battle map, Oasis, which looks great. And every time that they release a new map like this, it always makes me more sad about the campaign that there wasn't more diversity in environments. It just looks so good. Halo looks so pretty when you're looking at all the different kind of environments that you go through with Master Chief. And Halo, the campaign, as fun as it is to kill grunts over and over again, and I don't mean that sarcastically, like it literally is like the most fun to fight Covenant, banished type enemies that more than it's ever been. It's so fun to do it, but to do it in the same environment over and over and over again for a campaign is tiring. So when I see Oasis, I'm like, why? Why wasn't there like a desert level? Oh, a desert section of Zeta Halo. Would have been so good. I know why. The development was troubled, but you know what I mean. We get new equipment with a shroud screen. Looks interesting. That's going to be more for bullshittery more than anything for the lay person, the lay Halo player. For the pros, I'm interested. The pros are probably going to take advantage of it in a more impressive way. The Bandit DMR, finally, looks like a slower shot. Well, it's going to be a single. Well, it's going to be a single shot fire like the DMR, right? So in that case, but if you're like spamming the firing button, I guess it's gonna be a slower shooting commando, more powerful commando. I don't know what that balance is gonna be between that and the commando. I don't, so we'll see. But it does look fun. They showed a couple of new arena maps as well with Cliffhanger and Chasm. It's always nice to get new maps. Just like this game and its maps, just like the more that we can add on to it, the better, especially if well, I mean, the more that are 343 made, because they are expertly made, despite some of them not being my favorite, they are really good. So the more that the studio itself can put out there, the better. And these look great. And within those, there's also going to be a new multiplayer mode, Escalation Slayer. I'm not exactly sure what is that just gun game? I don't know. I have to look into it, but I think it's just gun game. We're also entering into an age of silly with the more Forge maps that we're getting. We're getting another new map called Arts Room, which is just an Xbox Fiends room. And it's like you're playing as toys from Toy Story. It's like you have the perspective of the toys from Toy Story, and you're like just fighting around this person's bedroom. It's so weird. It's so weird, but I love it. And that's just that every game, like the time comes where you enter the age of silly. It's at first, every game does this, every shooter, everything that is like a live service anyway. The first several months, the first few updates or even expansion, whatever, it's the developers always have the tonality of taking itself seriously and being within the theme of the, whatever the thing is. And then after a while, we start getting like fan servicey type stuff that's really silly. Like, for example, you know how Modern Warfare was, super serious, and all the bundles that came out were, in line with the tone of Call of Duty. I'm talking Modern Warfare 2019. And then after a while, it's like, you know what? Let's put anime stuff in there. And you start getting anime skinned guns. Every game does it. Every game at some point either adds anime or they just get really silly. And that's not a bad thing. That's just something I noticed. We're also getting back our community collection playlist, which is, we're going to be able to earn XP through that. So we're going to be able to play on the maps that we had a couple weeks ago. Starboard Starboard, Perilous, Salvation. I did not see Absolution. I had to go back, like, in the trailer to make sure, like, I didn't miss it. But I didn't see Absolution in there. And that was my favorite one. I don't know what's going on there. But I hope it's in there. I guess it's replaced by Arts Room. But yeah, I'm just really happy that we're getting some significant content. I know it's like the start of a new season, which of course it was going to have some stuff. But this game, more than anything, it needs this kind of hype building. You know, set your expectations fairly reasonably. This is still Halo Infinite. This is still from a studio that is still, in my opinion, has a bunch of talented people in it, but is still gutted and is still recovering from years of mismanagement. The trajectory is up. It is. Like, they're going up. But they still have a little bit of ways to go before I can look at this game that I really do like and I play all the time, but I can't entirely, with all my vigor, recommend it to somebody. But I do want them to have a redemption arc. I really do. And then I think that this is really... that we've been, like, in the redemption arc, little by little. This is, like, the first big swing of it, though. A new arc. Oh, and the poster looks good. The front armor in the poster, by the way, the one in the back looks really weird. I don't really like it. I saw a comment somewhere that looks like the Spartan got stung by a bee. It's a little bit, but the one in the front looks almost exactly like a modernized Spartan 3 armor. It's like the SPI armor, the armor that the Spartans 3 used. No, not Noble Team. They used Mark 5s. They used regular Mjolnir armor. The rest of the Spartan 3s, the ones that were suicide mission Spartans, that it looks exactly like that. Just look up the cover. That's just fun. Like, that's fun that they're doing that. I really enjoy that. I love all that little stuff. So the more that they can do, and within season 3, if we can get more things like random updates, like that we had a couple weeks ago, the better. Just little by little. It doesn't need to be massive Fortnite Destiny levels of updates that we get. Just as long as it's being updated just a little bit, and we're feeling the love a little bit from the developer, you know, and let the community help. It looks like they're going to let the community just make maps, add them into rotation. I guess, like, you know, vet them, don't be crazy, but we can trickle them in at a reasonable rate. We can do that, man. If they add co-op campaign, God, was that final that they're not going to do it ever? I hope not. I don't want to go back and get disappointed. Just if they do go back on that and just change their minds and add co-op campaign at some point this year too, that now we're really talking. I like Halo. You should too.